everybody, AJ Ryzik here, and today we are taking a look at the latest version of Netrunner. This is Netrunner 14. On this particular installation, we are looking at the 64-bit, but there's also a 32-bit version as well. Let me drag this here over. If you're not familiar with Netrunner, this is the Netrunner homepage. There are it used to be Netrunner was based on Ubuntu, but now there's two versions of Netrunner. We still have the Ubuntu-based version, but there's also a Manjaro-based version. We're looking at the Ubuntu-based version, using the Ubuntu/Debian base. And right here we've got the Netrunner homepage, and I'll throw links to it up on the description, just so that if you want to go and check this out, you've got the links there. Let me go and move this picture out of the way and put that right there. Okay, so we go, and this is the news release on the Netrunner homepage. Netrunner 14 released based on long-term support. Firefox instantly starts now as long as you have 2 GB of RAM or more. KDE Dream desktop for animated backgrounds, and I was playing around with that a little while ago. Pretty cool. I'll show it to you in a minute. Baloo superseding I never could pronounce this. Nepomuk, I guess, or Nepomuk. I never was able to pronounce that, but those of you that have been playing around with KDE for a while, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so we got, let's see, single click activation default, new default theme, Veromix audio applet. Of course, the latest packages for everything that's in the repository. Got KDE 4.13.1, Firefox 30, VLC 2.1.4. Skype is installed by default, and that's version 4.3. Muon Discovery, which is their software center, 2.2. I was just looking at the Office suite. They've got LibreOffice. They've got 4.2.3, which is fairly recent version. Very nice packages here. If you go to their homepage, you can scroll through some of the stuff they've got about the distribution and whatnot. I was cruising around on it right before I started up working on this video. Close this up there. Okay, so I guess the question comes up, why would you choose this over, say, Ubuntu 14.04? After all, this is based on Ubuntu 14.04, so why go with this? And both of them are good distributions, but if you are looking for a ready-to-go, out-of-the-box experience, I think Netrunner is the better bet. And I think also when you look at the software that is included, whereas Ubuntu tries to stick with the the KDE theme, and stick with KDE applications, at least for the most part. Netrunner, at least from what I've seen, they really don't care whether it's a KDE application or not. I mean, they'll use KDE if one is available, but if they find a GTK or Gnome application that seems to do better, or is more popular or whatnot, then they go with that other application. Now, the downside to that is that Netrunner is somewhat of a resource hog. As long as you've got a recent, fairly new computer, that's probably not a big deal. But I wouldn't want to try running this on a 7 or 8 year old laptop that's got a single core processor and only 2 gigs of RAM. Um, Looking at over on my other screen that you can't see here, I've got a little memory and CPU monitor. Now this computer that I'm running this on, it's quad core, and 16 gigs of RAM. Uh, Baseline was approximately 950, somewhere in there, megabytes of RAM. Just with nothing running, just baseline, no applications running. Right now I'm running at 2.2 gigs of RAM, is what I'm using, and that is with this little webcam and then my screen recorder. Um, and my CPUs are getting a little bit of a workout, nothing too much. But so anyway, long story short, you know, don't try running this on an old Asus netbook. It ain't gonna happen. But as long as you got the resources to run this thing, man, this is a nice distribution. Especially, if you like things in the world of KDE, very nice here. Um, well, and going back to the comparison with Ubuntu, um, at least for me, when I've installed Ubuntu, and a year or so ago, I was using Ubuntu for a good 6, 8 months, and it's a good distribution, but it literally took me all day after installing the operating system to get everything set up to just the way that I want it. And the difference here is that I think Netrunner, they give you a real nice out of the box, ready to go experience. There's some tweaks that you might want to go and do here, but for the most part, they got all the software that I want, or at least the majority of it. I got a few specialty things that I'd add because of the screen recording and the writing software that I use, that sort of thing. Um, but for the most part, this is very nice looking distribution. Got all kinds of stuff that applications and whatnot, so that you're ready to go, and and it's pretty good looking too. So anyway, let's move on, and we'll start looking at some of the different applications that are installed here. Well, maybe the easiest way to do this is I'll just pull up the menu here and we'll kind of walk through all the applications that way. And and if you notice, this is this isn't the standard KDE menu. This one's called I believe called the Kicker menu. I've also seen it called the Lancelot menu. Um, but much more compact, and I think it makes more sense the way this thing is laid out. It's more of a traditional approach. Um, so they got games at the top, and you got a bunch set up by default on here. Um, and I'll be honest, I am not a game player on my computers, so most of these games I couldn't tell you what they are. I can figure out that chess is, for playing chess, but really most of these I don't know what they are. I did notice that down here on the bottom you have Steam installed by default, so big thumbs up on that one for all the Steam players out there. Save you a little work. Under graphics, of course, we've got the GIMP, we've got Gwenview, we've got Kamazo, I guess is how you pronounce that, which is the little webcam viewer that you see up top here. And actually, you can use it for using your webcam for shooting videos and taking pictures and whatnot. First time I've used that, and it seems to do pretty well. Carbon, we've got Krita, we've got K Snapshot, and we've got Scanlight for our scanning. Under the internet, of course, we've got the Firefox web browser. So right here we have contact, and for those of you that are, let me pull it up here. For those of you who are new to the KDE environment, contact is a personal information manager is what they call it. Basically, there's a whole bunch of small KDE applications that would be organized through contact, and I wrote them all down just so I didn't forget and miss out on anything. You'd have Kmail for your mail, Aggregator, which is RSS reader, KJots, which is an idea book, Knode, which is a Usenet, Knotes, which is obviously notes, Korganizer, which is your calendar, and then a summary page. Okay, well, you don't really get the full effect of contact in Netrunner because you don't have all of the all the KDE applications. Not necessarily a bad thing, and of course you could go and add them back. And to be quite honest, while it's on one hand it's nice to have them all organized and whatnot in one spot, the downside is that it usually takes quite a while to set everything up and get it working smooth. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s. All right, so we already talked about contact. We got Pigeon Internet Messenger, Q Transmission BitTorrent. Skype is installed by default. Very nice on that. We've got telepathy. Well, I can't speak today. Installed there, and Thunderbird Mail, which is usually you'll see Kmail installed with a KDE distribution. So it's kind of unusual seeing Thunderbird, but at the same time, I personally think that Thunderbird is much more user friendly to your average Joe. So probably a good call on installing Thunderbird. Um, Thunderbird still isn't my favorite email clients. There's other ones that I like better, but Thunderbird's good. So in our multimedia, we got Clementine Music Player, excellent music player. Kdenlive, that is the software I use for editing all of my videos. Excellent KDE based editor. We got our sound mixer, and Whomp, I guess is how you pronounce it. Simple screen recorder, I added that myself. That's what I use for recording my videos. They do have Bulk Screen on here, which is a screen recorder as well, but I always use Simple Screen Recorder. It's what I'm used to, so that's why I installed that. And then, as you can see, VLC Media Player. Love VLC. It'll play anything, whatever you throw at it, it can handle. So we don't have the stock KDE based media player, and this is kind of that thing that I was talking about before, is that Netrunner, they tend to substitute non-KDE applications when they can find a much better substitute, and this is definitely the case. Like I said, VLC, it'll play anything you throw at it. I found and I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the KDE player, but I found it kind of quirky, and sometimes it's a little particular about what format you ask it to play. Anyway, let's look at the Office stuff. Basically, we got the whole LibreOffice software package, and it is, like I had said earlier, fairly recent version. What we got? 4.2.4.2. Well, that's a lot of points. Anyway, pretty recent. So good on that. And where we are, there we are. And then Ocular, which is a document viewer. Of course, I've got our settings. I've got a drive manager, Ice-T web control panel, Jack and Joe, or Java policy, software sources, system setting. And this, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but big thumbs up on this one. I don't know that I can really show it to you. Let's all right. If you have, let's say you've got a laptop that you've got a oh, you've got a wireless card in there that it doesn't play nice with Linux, you can go and grab the Windows driver, and through this application install the Windows driver and use that for your wireless internet. Very nice application. I've used it before on a what was it? Oh, it was a Dell D630, I think it was, or maybe a 620. But anyway, use that application. Great for being able to get that wireless that you need. So, two thumbs up on adding that. Where were we? Oh yeah, settings. Anyway, so system settings, wireless drivers. Okay, under system, Dolphin is our file manager, and when it comes to file managers, Dolphin is the bomb. Let me pull this boy over here. Alright, and I'll pull my picture down below. Anyway, there's the stock look. You've got all different kinds of views that you can set up. Show hidden files. You can preview. So like, I don't know that I don't. Yeah, so like when you pull up a video, you can do a preview of the video. There's all the little video chunks that are going to end up being this final video when I'm finished. But you see all these previews of it right here. Very nice. And then of course it's got my favorite viewing, which is the split screen mode. It makes it so easy for transferring files from one folder to the next. I mean, it's just, like I said, so easy to work with. You gotta love it. But anyway, I mean, I could spend all day going through all the features of Dolphin. But Dolphin is amazing as far as file managers go. Tons of options there. Okay, so we looked at that. We've got the KDE Partition Manager, K Info Center console, that is our terminal. Okay, System Guard or System Log, Muon Discovery. This is their version of the Software Center, and for those of you that know me, the Ubuntu Software Center is one of my biggest gripes about Ubuntu-based distributions. It lags. It's slow. It's a dog. It freezes up on you. It crashes. When you go and boot it, it'll take forever and ever and ever to load up. Not here. I mean, let me click on it, and I mean, a couple of seconds and you're up and running. You got this nice scrolling here. It's nice to look at. You got everything is categorized. You can look at everything that you have currently installed. You can go to your software sources from here. Very nice application. The Ubuntu people could learn a thing or two by looking at that thing. Anyway, then they've got their update manager. And while we're talking about updating, not only do they have the Muon Discovery and their update manager, they also have Synaptic Package Manager. And I'm a big fan of Synaptic. There's a lot of us around here that will take a package manager over Software Center any day. So you know, it's nice having both. Personally, I'll stick with Synaptic, but I'm glad they install that by default. And another thing they installed by default, I'm really happy about, Yakwake, and it is a drop-down terminal. And all you need to do, you've got it's hotkeyed to F12 by default. So just click on F12, it'll drop down. Makes it very, very convenient for you know, when you have to get at that terminal. And again, this is one of those things where you know, normally I'll go and, like, say I installed Ubuntu, I typically go and install Yakwake, and then, you know, GNOME-based distributions, I'll install Gwake there. You know, this is just you know, another one of those examples of, you know, they've got it set up correctly from the start. Utilities, we've got our disk burner, calculator, um, our clipper, magnify mouse tool, the keynotes, all that kind of stuff. And then of course down here, all of our session stuff. Alright, so now that we walked through all the applications, let's kind of take a look around on our desktop here. This I really haven't done anything to tweak or customize this. This is basically our stock look. We have panel across the bottom, and then of course we already looked at the menu. By default, they have quick launches for Dolphin and Firefox right here, and then of course these are the applications I'm running right now in this taskbar. You got a quick launch for Terminal as well. Sound, you know, our current applications and whatnot. Quick launch for the clipper. Our time, and then you can also clip it for, or click, yeah, clip it, click it for our calendar. And then click that right there, and that gives you I guess you want to call it a quick launch or quick search, however you want to think of it. You know, on a lot of the times on distributions, I install like Gnome do or Synapse. This works pretty much the same. You know, just do a little search, like let's say LibreOffice, and boom, just, you know, you can scroll through whatever you want to launch and go from there. And it'll work for, I believe it'll work for files too. Yeah, it works for files. And then of course over here on the end, that's how you make changes to the panels. Now there's a lot that you can do with the panels, so I'm really not going to go into, you know, how to make changes and all that today. You know, if anybody wants me to go and do a video on, you know, how to tweak the panels and whatnot, all the settings and that on KDE, drop me a message and let me know. You know, like I said, it's more than I can cover in this video, but you know, if there's a demand for it, I'd be more than happy to run up a video showing how to tweak all these little things on the panels. Okay, what's next? Oh, okay, I know what the other thing that I wanted to show you, and go to desktop settings, and you know, of course, right now we're showing the default desktop. Various images that, and these are all stock ones that you know, came with Netrunner. Some fairly nice wallpapers, not a huge number, but you know, they're nice looking and whatnot. But what I wanted to show you is this Dream Desktop. I was playing around with this a little earlier, and you know, it's pretty cool. Basically, any videos that you've got saved on your hard drive, you can use those to run as your background. So like, I was just looking before. Let me go and I can grab one of my YouTube videos. and you can see it'll run that in the background. And obviously that's probably not something that you'd want to have running in your background as an infomercial for me, but anyway, it kind of gives you the idea how this thing works. um, so I was playing around with it for a while. It's really cool. um, and then under here where it says animations, there are some uh, kind of graphic animations that you can run instead. Some bubbles, and I have no idea what this thing is. Um, but anyway, you play around with it and get what you like. Personally, um, you know, I just stick with the standard wallpaper or whatnot. I like a nice looking wallpaper and like to make the desktop look nice. Um, the animations, to me, it's kind of a little overboard, but to each his own. Um, so I guess that covers most of the stuff about what's included in this distribution. Um, Playing around with it the past few days, haven't had any crashes or things that hiccup and not work, and any of that kind of stuff. So it's real solid distribution. So very happy with it from that standpoint. Um, if I was going to go back to a KDE based distribution, um, I would seriously consider going with Netrunner instead of, like, say, Ubuntu. Or if I wanted to go on the art side of things and work and play with KDE from that standpoint, I'd probably go with the Arch-based Netrunner. Um, and my reasoning is like I said earlier, when you install Kubuntu, it literally would take me a day to get everything set up just the way I like it. Here, right out of the box, it's pretty good. A few tweaks here and there, and so maybe I got to go and throw up a couple of specialty applications that I use onto here, but I mean, for the most part, it's ready to go out of the box. So very happy about that. Like I said, one downside is that it's a fair memory hog, so steer clear if you got an older computer, um, or a real lightweight netbook or that sort of thing. But as long as you got the resources to run it, very nice distribution. No complaints at all. Well, anyway, I think that about covers everything. Be sure to leave comments, questions, all that kind of stuff down below. I've got a few other videos that I should be posting up this week, so keep your eye out for that. So, if you haven't subscribed to my video channel, be sure to. And while I'm talking about subscribers, a few days ago we passed up 100 subscribers to this channel. I think we're at 110, 111, something like that now. So big old thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Please share the videos to other people, and let's get that subscription base up. Um, try to spread the news about Alex's great channel. Anyway, thanks a lot, and see you on the next video.